What's up, everybody? Good morning, and welcome to the Casual Podcast. This is your boy Brian,
Woo!
the Casual Brian, keeping it casual 365 days a year, and then a couple hours. I don't know what the saying is. I don't know what the saying is. Jeez, give me a break. I'm working hard, people. We're coming to you live from Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. And since we
All
have
the
a wonderful
things.
guest, we're going to be on the actual podcast. It's a podcast
Ooh.
that will actually be on a podcast. So, with that being said, let's welcome your favorite guest, my favorite guest, Darsell Obregon Girley.
Ooh.
I need sound effects. That's the next.
Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
Okay, see, I was wondering how long it was going to take before we got into the good times. Darcel is currently going through a good times phase, and I don't know how I feel about it. I don't I don't know how I should feel about this good times phase that she's going through.
Okay, well, people need to understand that you don't watch old shows, but not even like, because that's an old show that came out in '74. Like that's an old show. I
Yes.
understand that, but you don't even watch shows that like we grew up with, and you're like, that's in the past. Let's just
Yes.
move forward.
Right. It's in the past. It doesn't make sense. Like,
It's
don't you feel like it's corny?
amazing.
I
No,
find like when I'm watching like The Fresh Prince, for example, that's a good example.
oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there because I'm starting to binge the new Fresh Prince, which is called Bel Air.
Is it good? Or is it like don't touch my Fresh Prince?
No, 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 no. First off, it's like, I mean, I don't even know why it's called, why it's even like, it's another show. It's not like it, you know how
Right.
it's like you don't like remakes or people don't like remakes. No, no, no. This is like not a remake. It's the concept of a wealthy black, I mean, very rich, of course, black family, the troubled youth from West Philly that comes and lives with them. That's it. Then the
Right.
names. That's it. Like it's a drama, fully a drama,
Yeah,
not like
it's a
kind of a drama.
reimagining. Yeah, it's a reimagining
Yeah.
of what it could be. Like
So
I can't remember what I wanted to say Lion King. Kind of how they approached the Lion King, but they were still singing. When in the live action versus the cartoon is what I'm thinking about. You
no,
know,
no, no.
or like
Uh,
Aladdin with Will Smith, but they still had singing in it. So
I don't.
it's
I
still.
never watched it.
I thought you were a big Will Smith fan.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I don't watch
You
movies. That trumps everything. I
you
don't know.
don't
We
watch.
have to discontinue that word. Well, there has to be another word, a synonym that I need to find. Uh-huh.
Trumps. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm still using it. Trumps it. Trump that.
But it's well made, right? It's well made, but I think I'm like a terrible person to ask about the Bel Air show because Fresh Prince and Friends, as we know, are my favorite shows. So it's like it's very hard. It's like even if it was a comedy, which I would prefer, I'd be like, what is this? This is not Will Smith. Like, so
Right.
it's different, but it's well made. It's
Which is why
I
I think
don't
that
know.
you don't do it. You know what I mean? Because the diehards are not going to be happy because it's not Will Smith. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like maybe you could do like Will Smith being Uncle Phil, and that would make sense. But
Oh,
I don't know.
and that's another thing because I mean, not Will, Phil, like, hello, Uncle Phil, like, Uncle Phil has to be a massive man, and this guy's, like, in shape, and I'm like,
But
No,
it's not
no,
needed.
I
That
need
whole
him to
that
be
whole
large."
dynamic was needed for comedy. This isn't a comedy, so it's not needed.
You know what I do
I thought I
like?
lost you for a second there.
No, no, you didn't. You know what I really like is that there's a lot of, like, these people are very dark, and that's good.
What?
What? You don't
What
see,
do you mean?
like, the cast is very dark black people. Like, you
I,
don't see that a lot.
I guess again, it goes back to that thing. If you're not part of that group, it doesn't hit you as well. I almost never
What do you
look at TV and say, I wish there was more dark skinned black people on the show or just
Okay.
dark skinned people. But
Well,
it's because my thought is like I hope I just wanted to be more black people or people of color. You know,
I mean,
the shade.
of course. Yes. I'm just calling if it was all like first off, I'm thinking, for example, of which is common in TV that I've seen. Oh my gosh, what is it? Black AF. Even though it is about his family, like it's about the oh my gosh, what is his name? I completely forgot his name right now. But the creator of Blackish, it's about his family.
Can
So it's like
Kenya
Kenyan,
Burns
Burris, right?
Burris.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kenya Burris. I'm pretty sure. Um, but it's like it is about his family. So it's like, he's not like casting mixed light skin looking people. That's like literally what his family looks like. It really does. But that's what I mean. That is common. That's commonplace. I mean, you and I have talked about that. And it's like this cast, like awesome. Like it's it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't care. I don't care about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's the same. It's the
Oh,
same as what you were saying with like the West Side Story remake and how it was
mhm.
bothering you that they didn't speak. You could tell that they weren't fluent Spanish speakers or native, I
No,
should
what I
say,
think,
right?
right. Yes. uh, Correct. We could bookmark that for a second because I think like the direct um what is it comparison is that I think with the Latin community is that with now what's this in the Heights, everyone was like, how is there no dark skin Latinos, Afro Latinos? I didn't watch In the Heights because again, movies. It's like I haven't watched it, but people were torn with that, right? People were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a movie about
Right.
Latin people. Like
Completely.
stop it." And then
But
people were like,
right.
"That's right, but there's no dark people." And it's like, yeah, so
I think
that's the direct I think what you're saying.
but I think that that's kind of like my problem, and that's the problem that a lot of people that are middle or right have with people that are left leaning. It's like, man, the movie is completely non gimmickly. You know, it's not satirical. It's not like they're making fun of these people. It is a good story for a
Sure.
people that are underrepresented in Hollywood, and then people are complaining. Oh, well, yeah, it's all Hispanic and Latino people, but they're not dark skinned. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I'll take the wins. Like I wasn't.
No, but
I
for sure.
now I can't remember, but it's because I'm not looking for it. I don't remember how diverse the skin tones were in Black Panther. I just remember it was a black movie and that it got a lot of love.
No, there was dark people, dark black people in there. What?
The dark
In
black
that
people.
black movie.
It was a black movie. It was a
It
wonderful
was.
movie, and it catapulted Marvel into a crazy run. You know that started off Black Panther. I don't think
They're like,
that
"Ooh, the world likes these black people. This is
the coolest
interesting."
the coolest thing aside from like just the actual moment, like because we went to see Black Panther together, and that was like a beautiful moment seeing like black
Oh my
people
gosh.
like turn out
Right.
and dressed up and
You
all
and
that.
didn't you you
Me, you,
wore
and
a
Brooke.
dashiki. Did Brooke wear a dashiki?
She wore something. Um,
And
it
I'm
was
there
but it
in the
was great. It was
middle.
a good moment. You're there in the moment,
Hi
like
guys.
hello. But I thought that the moment after Black Panther, where like a lot of people, where Hollywood seemed like, oh, let's tell black stories, let's have black leads, and there was a lot of willingness to like try black things out, and it seems like that's all gone away. That's all faded.
Well, not in Bel Air, but that's so interesting. That would be an
Will
interesting that would be an interesting concept for you and like because of course like I'm not black. I don't know if you know that. But it's
I
like
I I think I
it's
remember reading that on a tweet.
I think so. Oh
Was
my
it?
gosh, hilarious. That's an actual story, yeah. But I think it's interesting because maybe because you are lighter, you don't think about that. Like you're like, "Oh, black people, awesome."
That's what I said at the beginning. It's like because I'm not my complexion is not dark. I don't. I've never had to
Right.
deal with that. You know what I mean? So I don't. I'm not saying when I say I don't care, I don't mean like I don't care about it. I don't know. I'm looking in from the outside. We're not the same exact position, but we're both looking at it really from the outside looking in.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
a crazy thing. I think
Well,
I'm all for progress. I want to see progress. I want to see black stories. I want to see black leads and black
well,
people fall in love and Hispanic
then you should
stories.
watch
And
Good Times.
no, I'm not watching Good Times.
Well,
No, listening
you're
to it in the
missing it.
background. I am, and I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine to live life, never seeing Good Times. It's just it's hard for me because I feel like there's an element of buffoonery that happens with
Oh,
JJ.
okay, first off, he's the best. Like, that's eh, you're racist. That's inappropriate.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying people that are non African American tend to love characters like JJ,
Because
and
he's
it bothers
hilarious,
me because he's kind of a shucking and jiving kind of
goofy,
guy.
not non-threatening situation. Is that why?
Oh, and all this like the monster. I'm not.
Dynamite.
Yeah, man. What it? Because that they think that in their mind. People are like, oh, well, why can't they all be like that? You know?
But then what is so so what is no, I mean that's interesting. I've heard that before. It's like, oh yeah, like Carlton, Steve Urkel,
So okay,
JJ. It's like great.
Carlton has Carlton's silly, but he's intelligent, and he definitely has moments where you can see like the moment where he wasn't black enough to get into the fraternity. Remember that?
Yes, of course.
That's a great conversation and a moment for Carlton, where he's not some shucking and jiving and goofy guy. He's like very much connected to his people and then who he is and where he is, and he's not ashamed of it. Uncle Phil's a great character. You know what I mean? Like,
But I don't know what. But I guess it's just like I don't know where the line is because yes, of course, I understand what you're saying about like if the obvious, of course, it's like okay, if JJ was, performing for people that weren't black, but it's like he's literally like with his family 24/7 and just
it's
being
it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? Like you got to ask yourself, where's the line? Because I don't have a problem with Martin, and they act pretty similar.
uh-huh.
And it's both happening in a black environment, a black household.
Mhm.
Um, I just find JJ to be, buffoonish. And
You've never even seen it. And first off, he's a brilliant artist, so
I
he has
watched
another thing.
I watched
10 minutes?
80% of an episode while I was doing dishes
Oh my
the other day.
god.
Yes, not by choice, not by choice, but the dishes had to get done, and you
We'll watch the
ins-
Jeffersons moving
insisted
forward, don't
upon
worry.
putting that on me, putting that good times on me. You should be ashamed. I like the Jeffersons.
Okay, we'll watch that then.
What? Where did this come from? Like this desire to watch Good Times, the Jeffersons.
Nothing. I was on Peacock and I saw and then I saw it was there. I was like, okay, Peacock. And then, I did my
The way you the
what
way
is
you
it?
said that word, the way you said that word was weird. Can you say it one more time?
Okay, Peacock. That
I mean, not the whole phrase, the word peacock, but it was right or not right, but it didn't
Peacock.
sound weird.
Is it because of the latter word? What are you trying to make me do?
I don't know. I'm not trying to make you do anything. I'm just saying when you
Isn't this
said it
PG?
the first two times you said
PG
it,
13?
the first two times you said it, it
Rated
sounded
R.
weird. It sounded weird. It didn't sound like anything. It didn't sound like anything. It just sounded like you were saying the word weird. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Weird.
Queered. Um, uh,
Weird.
what
So
else?
you were
So
on Peacock.
yeah, no, nothing. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, good times. And that's why I put it, because I had already binged all of Sex in the City. We know that story, that I had never watched it in my whole life, any
And so you don't ag-
episode.
and so you don't agree that you're like Samantha.
No, no, no. The thing is, so okay. First off, I mean, this publicly sounds terrible because obviously she's the one that literally sleeps with everybody. Like no, 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 no. Like that's not never has been me. But I mean, I had my fun, but not like that. Um, but I think what it is more of just loudmouth, like don't tell me what to do, sexual, sure, that type of stuff, but not like it was like excessive. Like there's of course there's women like that, no problem, but like power to you, all set. But I was like, no, 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 no. Everyone needs to calm down. I think I'm like, I don't know. Not of the, oh my gosh. No, I don't remember. I'm new to this. So it's Samantha, Miranda, and Carrie. I'm like, I think a mix of those, like the attorney, the Samantha, and Carrie. Like, oh, like a blend. Like, let's put it in the blender. Not the other girl that's like prim and proper. No, that's like Veronica. Like, I think that's Vado. Not absolutely not me.
The prim and proper person.
Yeah. What's her name? I don't remember right now. So
You watch countless hours of this show recently, and you don't remember her name. It's not a good character. That is not a
no, no, no.
strong
She was.
character.
She's needed. She's needed in the group. Even though I don't know how her and Samantha would like ever be friends in actual life. I don't. I don't think
What?
so at all.
Life is full of people like that. Like
It's like a
your
box of
your
chocolate.
friends, my friends. It's just a wild mix of things through work and school and
You need to
you
keep it
know
adventurous. Oh my gosh.
jujitsu.
What is her? Should I look it up? I don't remember
I can
her
look it
name.
up. Here, let me look it up because I got the second screen.
I've got the second screen.
I tell you
Thanks
what,
to
once you
Brookie.
get two screens,
There's no going back.
you can never go back. No, no, I can never go back.
Miranda,
It's just
Samantha,
my life is
Carrie.
Charlotte.
Yes. Yes. You see?
I do see.
Charlotte.
I'm my own Jamie.
You are your
I'm
own
like,
Jamie.
I need to get one though. I need to get like a
So no one's
set.
talking about Rogan anymore, right? Speaking about Jamie.
Um, no, actually,
Is he home
recently I
free?
want to say no, he's not. He's definitely not home free. Um,
Has he
CNN
been
says that
interviewing a bunch of black people after what happened? He's like, I
no,
have black
no,
friends. I have black friends.
no. In
Oh.
his podcasts are pre-recorded. So
Oh.
I think they're about on like a 2 week delay. I don't know. It's like a week and a half to 2 weeks. Because like
Okay.
whenever you see a podcast and what he's talking about, it's like old stuff. But I think he
Mm,
has to do that. He has to do it like that, or else I wish he would do
interesting.
like I wish he would do his regular podcast and then like once a week. If I was producing him, once a week I'd have him come out and do like a current events type
Yeah.
situation. I think that'd be dope. Because sometimes you just want to
Hmm.
hear his thoughts. I mean, not everybody. My mom definitely doesn't want to hear his thoughts, but no. So CNN, they recently put out a article or something, and it said that Joe Rogan's N-word moment is the new January 6th, which pissed
N-word
people off.
moment is the new January 6th.
They're the same
What does
moment.
that
They're the
mean?
same moment. I
What
don't
does
know.
that mean? That everyone's like enraged, I guess, and they get over it, or what?
No, it's more like the impact that it had on culture and society and the conversations that came from it.
Oh, and there's taking it back to Bel Air in the. I mean, this is not like a spoiler for anyone, so anyone who's watching it, it's not that big of a deal. But like in the first or second episode, I don't know that I'll get through it in reality. I think I'm on like the third episode, and I'm like, I have the energy of this show for me is like if I have nothing else to watch, I mean, I will watch Good Times before I watch this. Like it's like whatever. Okay, let me see if it gets better. But Carlton, he goes to the prep. I mean, I don't know because you probably do know this, but you know how he went to Bel Air Prep, and it's like
Yeah.
literally he's the only black kid, and all of the white kids are singing, which is hilarious. Like how they did it, it was like, wow, this actually happens. Of course, I'm sure. It's like he's in the middle dancing, and it's like a rap song, and everyone and all these white boys are using the N word with the rap song, talking about Glocks and talking about, and I was like, Bel Air prep, hilarious. And then Will comes running over, of course, and was like, like they got into a physical altercation because he was like, "You're such a sucker. Like, how are you gonna?" He's like, and then Carlton, growing up how he grew up, he's like, it's just a word, like just a word that rappers use in their music to
Right.
that they sell to these white boys, and how do you not expect them to sing it along? I mean, I've heard that argument before. I mean, I do not agree because I grew up listening to hip hop music as well, and I find no need to say that word because I just don't care. Like I just don't care. Like it's just not it's like not it's like this fascinating obsession with the N word, and it's like I don't need to say it. It,
I
it's
think at
not a big deal to me.
I think at the heart of that debate is a an element of control, because
Mhm.
everyone knows the history of that word, and there has been an evolution of the word and the ending of the word and how people say it. But
Hard ER.
hard er versus the a, but you can't get away from the history of the word and the desire, in my opinion. I'm not even like softening my take. In my opinion, the people who want to say it want to get a little bit of that power. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It's about
Mhm.
them saying it allows them to have power over African Americans, because it's a
Mm.
word now. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to say it and not come off horrible. Um,
Sure.
even for black people, I don't know. It's getting to the point where now it's not even worth saying it. I feel like Chappelle still says it a lot, but I know
Let me tell you something. Black comedians, that makes everything funnier.
it
100%.
doesn't though. It
It does.
doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. The N
It
word.
totally
Well,
does.
so then you're making the point. Then everybody should be able to use it. If
No.
it's gonna make something funnier, then why not use it? Why not use what
No.
the best
No.
possible thing is?
No, because that is a word for like black people to use. That's it. So no.
So
It's like
okay, I don't. But it's not a word for black people to use, right? Like what we're saying is that like it's okay if black people use the word, but it's not for us. It's not like our thing, like our pride rests in the
no.
in the ability to say the N word. You know what I
No.
mean? Like but some people go there. They're
No, of
like, oh,
course.
that's our word, blah 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 blah. No, man. Sure, it's not as offensive if black people say it, but I don't. It's not my word. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't want no one. I don't want anyone to use it to describe me or to speak to me. Although
Of
I
course.
told you, I'm more offended by the term boy than I am.
I know. Oh, that's why you love. Remember how we watched that episode in Good Times where Michael was like,
Yeah,
"That is an oppressive term."
it is. It's such a dismissive way to talk to someone and say boy. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh
You're
my
like,
gosh,
"Nope,
that is the worst.
nope."
That is the
Yeah,
worst. It's
I get
I
it.
don't.
No, 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 no. But I mean, I agree. What I'm saying is, I mean, you know how I rock. Like, if you are a part of that group, of any group, like that's how I try to function in life. Like black people could do whatever they want with that, in my opinion, whatever they want with that word. They could have whatever rules they have. It just it doesn't bother me, but it doesn't bother me, across the board with whatever, with anything, with everything, with what pronouns people want to be called, what anything, what rights Native Americans want. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, sure, great. So,
What are you looking at over there?
I mean,
You got
nothing.
you got a visitor? You just looked over to your left.
Oh no, it's just like, animated.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. What, Luna?
I thought Luna was in there. I thought Luna got
No,
in there. She has a
no,
dog
no.
that she's obsessed with.
My little loons. I
Obsessed
think
with this
she's
dog.
sleeping. I think
She
she's
always
sleeping because it's rainy.
she always turns to me and she's like, Brian, look at this. I'm like, okay. And I
And she's
look, and
doing nothing.
she's doing nothing at all. The
She's
dog
just
is
asleep.
literally just sitting there. And she's like, isn't that amazing? But that's how dog people are. My friend
That's how I
Carlos
am
does it.
now.
Carlos does it
Well,
too.
I know. That's how we've gotten. We've gotten from, we went from me being what? Nothing, like nothing, no animal person, like totally like, oh, okay, hey, regular schmegular, to like, I'm gonna join PETA like tomorrow. It's just like, I'm
Fully
obsessed
vegan.
with dogs. Hmm.
You are.
I'm gonna be
No
fully
one a
vegan.
vegan? I'm
I mean,
not.
I need a chef. I need Shar to be my chef before I like
Oh
sign
my
that
gosh.
contract.
Shar is so, oh my. There's like, look, you know me. I am a very picky eater. Shar
You
is
are.
the only person that I don't even care. Whatever you're gonna cook, Shar, is gonna be delicious. Every single time she knocks it out of the park.
So
Every
good.
single
So
time.
good.
So good. So good.
It's like,
She made
I
that.
mean, we learned. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, our cooking class, we could start taking more cooking classes.
Yeah, our cooking class. That was both a very fun and very awkward experience. One of the most fun and awkward
Are you gonna
experiences
say awkward
of
and
all
not
time.
let the people know?
Yep. Yep. I mean, I don't care if they know, but I'm just saying I wasn't going to tell them why it was awkward. If you want to tell them why, you can. But I was going to talk about World War III. What's
Oh,
what's up
okay.
with that?
We'll leave them thinking.
Yeah, like
So,
give them something to talk about. I
I
wonder what
know.
it was. How about this war, man? Is your mom worried about you being in Europe during
Has not brought it up at all. I think she's like,
good
whatever they're going, because we're going to Europe next week.
Portugal?
I know.
Portugal. I'm so excited.
And I don't know. I don't know if there's something in there, maybe.
I don't know either.
Um, but yeah, I'm so excited. I don't know, man. So what's up? What's up? What's going on? Like, I am literally, I can't. Like, that I've been like so disengaged with news for such a long time because I like to believe in humanity and believe in
Right.
good good people. So I'm like, no, 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 no. Can't watch any more news. I cannot. Like,
Yeah.
you are enough of like, let me know. Like, you keep me informed. That's it.
Yeah. It's a bit much, man. I got to be honest. Coming out of COVID, it's like I
I
don't think
know.
we're gonna go.
I
I don't
saw
think we're
that
gonna. I don't think we're gonna go to a
on
war because
Twitter.
it's
It's
just
like,
like.
pandemic to war, great.
But it is. It's kind of like, dang, man. Like really, we can't just have like a summer to like chill first, and then we go to. But and then now the new thing. This is crazy. I. So they're blaming Biden, of course, of
Right,
course.
because obviously Sergeant Orange would be, I mean, obviously
He's
he was super tough,
he was
obviously, like,
praising he was
on.
praising Putin. It's
It's
it, it
great. It all makes
I
sense. It all makes sense. It
but
all
it's
does.
but that's what I was saying. Like when people talk about like adding more judges, taking out the filibuster, do whatever. I don't care.
That's what
There
that's what
there's
No, sorry, go ahead.
no no
This
no
is how we
talk
speak in real life,
talk.
people. But you had said that before, and it's like, I like to I like to think that I have integrity and like I'm an ethical person. Like I'm not, I try not to be shady. I try to be whatever, a person of character. So I'm here, of course, in my mind. I'm like, no, it's like, we can't do that because then when the other people, I'm just like trying to play by the rules. And you had always said, like, doesn't matter. They do not play by the rule. And it's like, wow, that is so true. It's like,
They're,
I'm totally on what you're saying. Like, do whatever because they're
yeah,
gonna do whatever. Do whatever.
they're gonna do and say whatever. I mean,
Hmm.
it's what they do. And what
Right.
Democrats do is we whine and
Ask
we
for
complain.
permission.
We ask for permission, we whine and complain, and then we don't do anything. Or we do something and then we just like it's like, all right, so it's like for me, do whatever. I don't care. Do
Hmm.
something. Make a law. Make
Right.
a, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I almost can't get mad at Republicans because at least they do something.
Yeah.
I'm not a Republican, so it's not what I want them to
Well,
do. But if I was a Republican, I'd be like, yeah, these guys are
well,
killing it.
well. What they do is always like go again, like go against. That's what they
But
do.
that's not fair. They go when they're not in power, they go
Yeah,
against.
yeah. That's what I mean.
But yeah,
It's like, but where, but I think that um the interest is it. Do you not think even when they're in power is to like own Democrats, to own the libs, as they say and stuff? Do you think that that's like it's just this
no,
okay.
I think they're pretty disciplined in
Mhm.
the talking points that they want. Marriage, traditional marriage, um, life issues, immigration issues.
Pro
Um,
birther. Uh-huh.
so whenever they get into power, they start doing things that are going to impact those issues, and then taxes, obviously, which is something that we
Mhm.
don't really disagree with them on. But
Mhm.
I just, I think with the taxes thing, it's just like it's necessary.
Yeah.
I've never been one of those people who are like some lazy lady with 5 kids and no man at home is like
I
on
don't know.
welfare.
I don't know what that, but when I tell you, like, you and I have talked about this, of course, a million times. That has never crossed my mind. Like, I don't, I find it so absurd. It's like,
Yeah,
yes, are there people that abuse the system? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not like, we can't help other people because there's people that are going to abuse the system. It's like, you could
right.
say that about literally anything. I don't know. Like, it's
Anything,
like,
everything.
what?
Right.
And
It's
it's just like, never blame. I told you that, I had a friend who said that, and I was like, "Oh, so do you think about the top? Like, do you think about the CEOs and how, they're still profiting, or, their
yeah.
margins now currently, like as an example, when inflation and everything, and they can't hire anyone because they're not paying enough, but they're getting raises. Do you
They're getting, yeah, their wealth, their wages
do
are
you
increasing.
is there a thought? No, no, because I mean, they're rich. They must be like
Right.
people that know what they're doing. They're
Right.
good people. Like, but the lazy people, like,
On the
at
bottom.
the bottom, like they're lazy. So they're like dumb and abusing the system. It's insane. And then it's so funny because exactly like my friend was like, I've never thought about that. And it's like people don't think about it. People do not think about anything of the top. They're like, no, 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 no. They're doing everything right. They have to.
Right. Right.
They made it to the top.
Because everyone wants to get to the top, and so
So
I mean,
you're
everyone.
giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and then it's also a little bit of like I don't want to change the system because if I can ever get to the top, I want to be able to exploit it fully. You know,
Mhm.
if we
Mhm.
if we make the, but they don't understand that even if you're going to the top, your path to the top will be a lot better if everybody was accountable for the money that they owe. And it
Right.
would to I'm here for a flat tax. I think that is the only way. It's fair, consistent, and if they did it, our country would have more money, and everybody would have
And
a better life.
that means everybody pays like X
Percent.
percentage.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. I think that
Yeah.
that's the fair way. You know, and
What's the what's the
well,
argument even?
the argument is if I have $1,000 and it's 10%, that's $100 versus someone who has 100 million. But the thing is, you have 100 million. I did the idea that someone just because someone has 100 million, they have to pay 10 million, but you can't live off 90 million.
I don't know what I'm not well informed in this at all. So like pardon if maybe you know more about it, about Elon Musk like tweeting about how he's the person that paid like the most taxes because Elizabeth Warren was saying something about him or Tesla not paying taxes, something like that. And there was like a back and forth. And then everybody, but I don't know the details is what I'm saying. So maybe I shouldn't even have
Right.
brought this up. But he's like everyone in the Twitter feed is just like you are the richest person like alive. Like, why wouldn't you pay the most taxes? Like, what are you talking about?
Right. Right. Because it's classic misdirection of the argument. The argument isn't that you are not paying a lot of taxes. You are. If he paid his fair share, it would be a lot of money. But
Of
that's because
course.
he made a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, let's be
Hmm.
real. If you made 100 million or 100 billion, $1 billion, and they're asking you to pay 10 billion, which is a ton. That means that you have $90 billion to live off of.
You know what was a thought that I've also I mean we've talked about everything always, but another thing that I had never thought about, and I'm like that's such an interesting concept. Like people who very rich people mostly who evade taxes and stuff,
Right.
or and have their stuff like Panama Papers, like all that madness. And it's like because I've talked to people that obviously shall remain nameless that
Yes.
just like yeah that know ab- about that, and they honestly they're like do not feel bad because they're like but why am I going to give my money to the government because they don't like they're like what are they going to do with it. And it's
Right.
like I never, of course, I don't, I don't agree. I don't think that that's the way to live either. But I'm like, I had never thought of it like that. That it's like I get it, even though there has to be a better solution because you're not going to evade taxes and to not give it to the government. But it's
Right.
like that's interesting.
But it's also BS because there is no
Hmm.
just government. That money goes back to us, all of us, roads, fire departments, police officers, the
I agree.
military,
I agree that
infrastructure,
it's I agree that
social
it's
plans.
BS, and then they would I mean, that's the system. I mean, that's the system that there is. So it's like,
If
first off, get over it. That's the first thing. But number two is just like if you feel that way, I don't know. What I was going to say is that exactly what you said. It's like, okay, well then give millions of dollars to impoverished communities or how you're saying like whatever teacher like do that yourself then
right, but they're
since
not
you
doing
don't know
that.
where the government is what the
And they
government's going to do with the money.
and here it is. Here's the brutal reality. They could do that and then write it off for taxes. They don't.
Mm,
They do a big
right.
number that sounds like a big number. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
whenever I see stuff like Beyonce or Jay-Z, I don't just call them out, but someone along those lines gave like $200,000 to this organization. I'm like, what is that? If last time I checked, they're a $1 billion family. They're giving 200,000. What is that?
No, no, but still, man, no, that's you don't know how many. I mean, that's what you heard of. Who knows
No,
how many philanthropic endeavors they have? What?
none,
No,
none. Jay-Z has
stop.
said, yeah. Look, this is my thing, and
Don't fight with
this
Jay
is what
Z.
the painful
He has
reality.
locks now.
Um, there's only two approaches to life. There's a self interest, common interest. It's it. It's it. And most people are self. You know, I want to make sure I'm all right. I want to do what I want, and if there's some left over, I can give that to charity. or whatever.
Mhm.
But if more people were about the community, our life experience would be better. It's just
Of
plain and
course.
simple.
Sure.
We don't think about each other. We don't give till it hurts. That's the Tim Keller quote. Give till it
Well,
hurts.
I don't know why do you need to hurt?
Because it keeps you from getting to that mentality where you're like, it's about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay if you only give when it comes out of abundance, then you're going to keep having like needs. So like, okay, I make $1,000 and I want to give like $200, $300, but I got to pay my rent. And then, okay,
Right.
now I make $5,000 and I still want to give that same $200 to $300, but now I got to pay my rent and my jujitsu subscription, and I got a car. I bought a new car. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so what happens is there keep coming, there keep these
Like things
reasons,
keep uh-huh.
things keep happening or coming into your life that keep you from ever really being generous. And so when you make a habit of giving until you notice it, you're developing another habit in the opposite. Like, okay, I want to get this new phone, but if I don't get this new phone, I can give that money to help somebody.
Yeah, but you also I
That's
think
the
that
hurt.
sure, I mean, that's not to me, of course, in my opinion, that's not very um hurtful of like, oh, you don't get a brand new phone. Like for example, I have what iPhone 10. It's like no, it doesn't matter. Like yeah, sure, let's get the 13, but it's like no, 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 it's not a bit. Is that with the number they're on? Whatever, the latest iPhone.
I think they're coming. I
It,
think that no, I think they already had 13. 14's coming up. 14.
yeah, like clearly that's not. I know that was just an example, but something like that, sure. Like
I
I
can't
could
I
agree.
can't go out to I can't go out to brunch this this week because I'm giving something. So it's
But
more like
why?
it's costing. But
Because
why?
you yeah. Like why? Like it's like why? Like
Well, because
give, like I mean budget and and give what you can and go to brunch.
so it's to think that you can be generous or like that life will always give you like a clean enough for both. I don't think that that's realistic. I think that there's going to be times where you're going to have to decide, am I going to be generous? Am I going to help? Or am I going to do me? And for you, it's not the phone, but for you, it might be something else. It might be a matter of downgrading something. And so, yeah, I mean, like, that's the whole point. I think that we don't. Most people are like, why should I help somebody? I worked hard.
No, but yeah, exactly.
I
But
worked hard for
that's
this.
yeah, but that's not right. But that's not how I'm thinking. Like no, 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 no. I think everyone, yeah, for sure,
You're thinking,
should help.
but you're thinking
I'm just
help as long as it
thinking
doesn't cost you anything.
um I mean, I guess you could put it like that into a certain point, like
Right.
sure, but it's not.
So okay, I think this is a good way of
It's like
explaining my
but
point.
it's fuzzy. It's like gray because that is very black and white, and that's not. I understand what you're saying. Like, yes, we could go like for example, like I think to your point, it's like I wanted to go to this nice brunch place that it would be expensive or something. And it's like, okay, no big deal. Like you could go to a lesser, like whatever, a $2 sign Yelp instead of $3 or $4 sign Yelp, and that's what I mean. And then you, of
Right.
course, do
But
whatever with that.
that's why
Uh-huh.
that's why we saw people are like appalled by the idea that you would ask them to go to a $2 Yelp sign instead of a 3 or 4, just so that some other people could eat. You know what I mean? Like that's the
Hmm.
whole. On one side we're talking about survival and basic needs. And on the other side, we're talking about the difference between a $2 plate versus a $3 or $4 plate. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like a lot of those CEOs, bank CEOs, they were firing people while they were giving them self
Oh
bonuses,
no. Of course, of
you
course, of
know?
course.
And so
Wild.
eh, and
That's
so but it's
wild.
it's,
Of
it's that
course.
same mentality. Like it's going to cost me a raise or a bonus to make sure that these people can keep working. But their mentality is no. No. I I need to do everything I can to keep my raise and my bonus. And
Yeah.
so
No.
I think the only way to fight against that mentality is when you become a person who's like, um, I'm going to make sure that everybody around me is good and taken care of. And if that happens to cost me, I'm okay with that.
But there's a limit also to that.
I'm not saying give away all your money. But I'm saying the reality is that most people aren't even close to that. It's like it's like I mean, that I think that Yelp is perfect. It's really a matter of $2 versus $3 signs or
Of
four
course.
dollar signs,
Yeah.
so that somebody can eat. But people will say, well, they blah blah blah. But it
I
doesn't matter.
deserve the nicest place and whatever. Yes.
It's one approach is I'm going to share my food with others. I'm going to share my food, and then the other one is
Mhm.
like, well, whatever's left over, that's what I'll give. And
Mhm.
so I strive to be a person who's um, generous, and even when it costs me something. But it hasn't cost me that much, you know. Every now and then it does. Every now and then I'll give, like, it's little things. Like I was going to get a pizza once, and I had some cash. I had just enough cash to get a pizza, but then the guy on the train was asking. I
You
get
didn't eat your pizza.
I could have got more money, but no, I'll just give this guy this money, no pizza. And
Good.
I think that's basically what I'm saying.
That's very
That's
sweet.
the point. It's we've all been hungry,
You're
and
kind-hearted.
some of us have had the misfortune of I've never been homeless, but man, like I told you, when I moved to New York, it was a lot of time in malls and stores and sleeping in Starbucks, just trying not to
We are
be in other
very
people's houses.
blessed to have
Very,
parents that we've never had to think about that.
yeah, never.
Look at that forehead, though.
What forehead? Your forehead or
Yeah.
mine?
No, mine.
Anyway, so I'm gonna wrap. I think we should wrap now. We're coming up on 50 minutes of living the dream. But
Living the
before we go,
dream.
I just pulled up the Joe Rogan.
BG.
It's why shrugging off Joe Rogan's use of the N word was so dangerous by
Oof.
CNN. CNN is just
Ooh.
someone made a
CNN
good
hates
point.
him, so it's fine.
So Andrew Schultz made a very good point. I don't agree with everything he says. I like a lot of his. I like the way he thinks. Now, well, we'll see. But he was saying that CNN, they suck, and the only way they can operate is having a boogeyman. And now that Trump is gone, who was their boogeyman? Because that's all they
Uh,
used to talk about. Trump, Trump, Trump. It's Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's their new boogeyman. He'll last them over until 2024 election, and then they'll have Trump back, and then they'll go back to Trump, 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 Trump. And that's awful. And I wish CNN would do a better job. Do your
well,
job, CNN. Do
all I
your
want to see
job.
on repeat is Rogan schooling Candace Owens on climate change. That's all. That's all that makes me
Yeah, he
happy.
went hard. They went hard at it. I wonder if I
I
wonder
watched
what.
it today. That's why I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, Candace she's off in the conspiracy
Interesting.
world now. Her new
She's
thing
like,
is Bob Saget. She's
what?
she's she's
We
con- she's convinced it was a
government
COVID.
Biden killed him or what?
No, vaccine death. It was a vaccine death, which is
Okay,
not. It is not. YouTube, don't take me down. I'm not saying it is. It's not. So, Candace Owens, the literal worst. But anyway, thank you, Darsell, for spending this time with me. Thank you, everybody that's hung out with us. If you made it this long, gosh, you might as well follow. Where can they follow?
I know.
Where can they follow you at, Darsell?
I am Darsell. It's very complicated
On
on everything. On
on YouTube.
Instagram, Twitter,
Where are you active at if at all?
Twitter. That's literally it.
So Twitter, and
For
then
right
Instagram
now.
for right now. For right now.
You
So
know, we gotta
again,
take that. It's been a long time. I was browsing through my IG yesterday because like I have it like because my cousin was asking me. She's like, "Oh, like you deleted?" Like she was like freaking out. I was like, "No, it's just like I don't have it on my phone." Like once you take social media off your phone, like it's like you're not on. Like yeah, I check my messages and stuff, of course, like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. But I'm not. And I was like, "Wow, it's been a while." I think my last post was like from the summer. And
oh
it's like I
wow.
have not yes, I have not posted. I don't post usually that regular like post, that I
Right.
do stories mostly. But yeah, I was like, wow, that has been a long time. But yeah,
Yep. I'm doing all the posting for both of us,
I
which
know
reminds me I
we'll
need
be
to
back
post right
soon.
now. Well, the world can't wait to have you back, and it was
The
a pleasure
world
to have
can
you.
wait. Pleasure to be
And on that
here.
note, until tomorrow,